So this is the 11th cult member. The 11th cult member out of the Zizian cult. Believe it or not, there is actually a serial killer with the same name out of Louisiana, Daniel Blank. The same exact name. And I had to do this. Speaking of serial killers, you guys cannot tell me that Daniel does not look like a young Jim Jones. He does. He does. He could play. They could have a role where he plays the young version of Jim Jones, even though there's too many movies about the Jim Jones cult. But it's a very fascinating story. And it's weird because not only could he play a cult member, he was actually in a cult. So, isn't that like a double conundrum? Alright, so anyway, let's just continue on with the story. So Daniel's parents are divorced. When Daniel had visited his mother on Thanksgiving, he was being very secretive and distant. He would shut his laptop anytime someone would come in the room or walk by. He hadn't mentioned his new job. He only said that it was a startup and it was in Ohio, only saying that he signed a non-disclosure agreement, so I guess he could not talk about this job. Daniel would send his parents a final text message. Quote, "Look what you have done," end quote, with a link. So when they followed the link, it connected to a gruesome video of farm animals being slaughtered. I don't know what Nadia and Alexander, his parents, thought about this video, but they knew that their son was a vegan while he was in college. It would be 2 years before he would resurface again as being in a cult. Now, if you remember, Daniel was there the day when the police arrested Michelle, aka Jamie, and also Jack, the Big Ziz. He was there as well. He was arrested. And remember, those two fools were playing dead. Jamie had her eyes all in the back of her head, and Jack had his eyes closed. They were pretending like they were dead. Later on, Jack wouldn't even want to get out the police car, and Jamie started crying. She was saying stuff like, "Please don't shoot me." I mean, just weird stuff. But the reason why I brought that up, because Daniel, he was the one I've read. He was the one that complied. I didn't read anything that he was acting silly upon the arrest. He complied, and he was arrested. The only one that didn't play dead. Now, prosecutors charged Daniel with trespassing on private property and obstruction. These are both misdemeanors. Nadia and Alexander believe that their son was brainwashed. They said he is not a violent person. His father said, quote, "I don't think that Daniel did anything wrong except be around the wrong people," end quote. That is probably true. Hopefully, for Daniel's sake. But sometimes if you witness a crime, like let's say a murder. Let's say a murder at Jamie's parents' house in Philadelphia. Let's say that. If he witnessed a murder, even if he didn't participate in it, but if he was there when it was happening and he knew it happened and didn't do anything about it, he can still be charged as being a murderer. Daniel was born in Berkeley. He always excelled in school, excellent, straight A's, and his teachers praised him. He competed in Science Bowl team throughout middle school and high school, and he's fluent in 3 different languages. Daniel is a graduate, and he graduated a semester early from the University of California with a double major in bioengineering and computer science, according to his resume that he posted on LinkedIn. As an undergraduate, he conducted research for 2 Berkeley professors and interned at Oracle and Daphne Labs. He accepted a high-paying corporate offer in Oakland following graduation. With a few years he was there, but he would quit that job. He told his parents he was then moving to Columbus, Ohio to work for that startup. And again, he never told them anything about the company, the nature of the work, telling him again it was a non-disclosure agreement that he had signed. He didn't even tell his landlord that he was leaving. He just left, leaving all his personal belongings behind, just up and dipped. Didn't say a word. Now, Daniel has mild autism. He's blind in one eye. He's socially awkward. He struggled to fit in with peers. He's kind, but trusting of everyone to a fault, is what his mother said. He wanted to do good all the time. So a missing persons report was filed on Daniel. His phone was tracked, and the police did a welfare check. Daniel was living in a cabin in Vermont. The police said that he was unharmed and he did not want to speak to his parents anymore. He wasn't speaking to anybody, none of his friends, no one, no family members. And that's what you have to do. As we heard with all of them, that is what you have to do when you are about to go and stay in this cult. You have to cut off all ties with everybody. And it's not just this cult, it's all of them. But we're talking about the Zizian cult now. And that's what you have to do. And that's what he did. So right now, Daniel may be in jail right now on obstruction. But if he hadn't killed anyone, and I haven't came across any articles stating that he did, it's a good chance that he could testify against them, save himself a lot of trouble. But I'm following this story, and I will continue. I will continue to follow it through. I just am really trying to find out about that head Zizian, Marcus, the namesake. That's who I want to find out about. And I'll be back.